Hi, I'm Kelly, and this YouTube video is an assignment for my abnormal psychology class. In this video, I will be discussing the issues addressed in the movie What About Bob? Namely, anxiety, Tourette's syndrome, schizophrenia, and the media and mental illness. Yeah, so let's get started. In the film, the character Bob Wiley shows a lot of anxiety. Anxiety is a broad term in psychopathology, and a lot of disorders and conditions fit within it, including phobias and obsessive-compulsive behavior, both of which can be seen in Bob Wiley. In the following clip, it will show Bob's phobia of germs and his phobia of the elevator. Take a look. Notice how Bob walks down the hall, uses a tissue for germ protection, and avoids breathing dirty air. Here's the next clip.
Help you, sir?
Yes. Dr. Marvin, Dr. Leo Marvin.
Second elevator, 44th floor.
Thank you. Elevator?
Bob Wiley? Why don't you sit down? It'll be a few minutes.
According to Essentials of Abnormal Psychology by V. Mark Durand and David H. Barlow, phobia is unreasonable fear of a specific object or situation that interferes with daily life functioning. In Bob's case, it's difficult to be out in public, and he would rather climb 44 flights of stairs than take the elevator. These are decent examples of how a phobia might interfere with daily living. The next form of anxiety Bob exhibits is obsessive-compulsive behavior. In Movies and Mental Illness by Danny Wedding, he talks about What About Bob? And says, Bill Murray plays an anxious patient who cannot function without his psychiatrist. Not a great film, but a fun movie that explores the doctor-patient relationship and the obsessive-compulsive personality. Let's talk about this. I can see where Mr. Wedding is coming from. When most people think obsessive-compulsive, they think neat freak or perfectionist. And while cleaning can be included in obsessive-compulsive behavior, it's more than that. Let's define an obsession. And a compulsion. So, an obsession might be something like hoping you don't forget to wear your pants. A compulsion may or may not match the obsession. With the pants example, it might be putting your hands in your pockets or counting to 10 to get your mind off of it. I certainly don't claim the expertise to diagnose Bob with OCD, but he does exhibit an obsession.
Dr. Marvin! Dr. Leo Marvin! Dr. Marvin!
And a compulsion.
Good morning, Dr. Marvin. No, these aren't for you. They're for Faye. For yesterday, for your hospitality to Gil and me. I didn't say thank you. I thought about what you said, take a vacation from my problems, and I did.
But you're back.
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No, I'm not. I'm on vacation. This isn't an appointment. I'm dropping by. This is my first time over the lake. This is my first time anywhere. I'm a little anxious because I haven't figured out how to get food yet, but I'm staying at the Gutmans. When I told them what you said, they insisted.
No.
So, I know we can't work, but let's get the friendship.
When he obsesses about his psychiatrist, he acts on it, and then when he's near his psychiatrist, the anxiety subsides. And this doesn't seem to be the first time Bob has done this. In the beginning of the movie, his psychiatrist, Dr. Fensterwald, quits the business, referring Bob to Dr. Marvin, and says,
Free.
This suggests that Bob obsessed and compulsively sought him as well. In the next clip, Bob names off all of his psychiatrists. As you watch, see if you can count how many doctors he's had.
It's so right that you and I have come together, isn't it, Dr. Marvin? I know it was meant to be.
You think so, Bob?
Yes. Because it's time, and I'm ready. With Dr. Carswell Fensterwald, I wasn't ready. With Dr. Rosengay and Bencheski, it wasn't time. I certainly wasn't ready for Mallerstein or Miller or Hill. But with you, finally, I'm ready.
7 is a lot of doctors. The next psychopathological issue addressed in What About Bob is Tourette syndrome. In the clip I'm about to show, it does use a PG-13 word. If you wish to avoid it, click mute when Dr. Marvin says, "the greatest challenge to me." And then you can unmute when Faye sits up in her bed. Here we go.
What's Tourette's syndrome? What's Tourette's syndrome?
Oh, I'm very proud of Baby Steps. I'm very encouraged by its success. I think the greatest challenge to me, aside from writing, was in finding ways...
brains! Butthead! Dingleberry butt!
Snotface!
Vulture vomit!
Turkey tits! Bell spread!
Open this door. Sigmund! Sigmund, open this door immediately.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Sorry. Sorry.
What is going on around here?
Tourette's, Dad. Tourette's.
What Bob is referring to is coprolalia, which loosely translated is Greek for potty mouth. It can occur within Tourette's syndrome, but as Leo, Dr. Marvin, puts it, it's exceptionally rare. Let's define Tourette's syndrome. A vocal tic can be as simple as a grunt or clearing your throat. It isn't usually disruptive to the extent of Bob and Siggy. Another issue Bob brings up is very brief, but perpetuates a big misconception. We did already talk about this in class, but I've come to terms, and I hope you can too.
It's a female. What, do you think I'm weird or something? But it reminds me of my favorite poem, which is roses are red, violets are blue. I'm a schizophrenic, and so am I.
The joke, of course, is that schizophrenia is when you have multiple personalities. Unfortunately, this isn't the case, and so the joke gives people the wrong idea. Schizophrenia and multiple personality disorder, more recently known as dissociative identity disorder, are two totally separate and distinct mental disorders. Let's define the two. Someone with schizophrenia experiencing hallucinations may see or hear people that aren't there. With dissociative identity disorder, they are the other people, commonly referred to as alters. Another important distinction is that people with schizophrenia experience symptoms of psychosis, while those with dissociative identity disorder do not. So, they're not psychotic. Movies and mental illness informs that most people get their education about mental illness from the media. This poses a problem when the media puts entertainment and sensationalism ahead of accuracy, which is often. For this reason, I have one recommendation. Critical viewing means not automatically accepting what is in the media. What About Bob, for example, is helpful in some ways, but not in others. If everybody used critical viewing when they saw mental illness in the media, maybe we would treat them with more compassion and less fear. Not all of them are violent, slow, or emotionless. It's something to think about. So, I hope this was informative and/or helpful in some way. At least you got to see some What About Bob. Thanks for watching! Needs to focus. Are you recording? Yeah. He's gonna breathe some air. Can you tell that I'm reading really bad? I'm going to be addressing the issues addressed. Okay, this has to be serious. I have a hair in my mouth. This will be in the media. Psycho-pathological.